All right, let's dive in. Today, we're stepping into a world that's forged from thunder and gears, a place where philosophy isn't just an idea, it's a lethal reality. We're going to explore this really challenging and fascinating text about the sovereign mind's journey, its ascent.
You know, this single line, it's the key to everything that follows. This is our way into a reality that is actively hostile to comfort, a world literally designed to shatter every single certainty we think we have. We're not just talking about a setting here. This is a whole new state of being.
So, where does a transformation like this even take place? In our first section, we're going to explore the crucible itself, a living, breathing city known as the Uncanny Citadel. Okay, that phrase, reflexive lethality, that's really interesting. It means the city isn't just dangerous in a passive way. No, it actively responds to the people in it. It participates in their existence. It's like a conscious entity, an architect of souls, whose main tool is just a perpetual, intelligent threat. This slide just perfectly lays out the core conflict. On one side, you have the old heavens, which is really a metaphor for rigid, predictable, and, let's be honest, dead systems of thought. But on the other side, you've got the citadel, which represents this chaotic, vibrant, totally new order. It's like a Dionysian frenzy, wild, passionate, creative, just tearing down that old Apollonian cage of sterile, restrictive logic. And here's the crucial point. The Citadel's purpose isn't just chaos for its own sake, it is a forge. All that constant pressure, all that lethality, it's all designed for one single purpose, to temper the souls inside it, to burn away every weakness until only pure strength is left. So, if the Citadel is a forge, who in the world could possibly survive its flames? Well, in our next section, we're going to meet the inhabitants, who are being tempered into something completely new, the Overmen. Now, these aren't just survivors in the normal sense of the word. The Overmen are the ones who have willingly stared right into the void, into the abyss, and instead of being totally consumed by it, they've used that terrifying sight to forge a new identity, one that's entirely of their own making.
Let's break down what makes these sovereigns tick. First, they're living ruptures. That means they don't just break the rules of reality. Their very existence is a tear in the old fabric. They're also navigators of the infinite schism, which is that gap between the world as it was and what it could be. They wield the rune of the vertical ascent, a symbol that their entire being is focused on climbing higher, not on just finding comfort on some flat horizontal plane. And finally, they embody active nihilism. Now, this isn't about despair. It's the radical power to destroy old dead values so you can create new living ones.
This quote just captures their existence perfectly. For the Overman, life isn't about finding peace or comfort. It's a constant, almost ecstatic struggle against your own limitations, a divine frenzy that chooses that difficult path upward over the easy path forward every single time.
But who oversees this absolutely brutal process? Who makes sure the forge stays hot? Our journey is now going to take us to the very center of this clockwork labyrinth to meet its master.
I mean, a world this deliberate, this designed, it has to have an architect, right? A will that gives it shape and purpose. So who is it? Who is the ultimate authority in the Uncanny Citadel?
The answer is a figure known only as the Crimson Judge.
His appearance is just pure symbolism. The deep crimson aura, that signifies a life that has successfully overcome its own death. The gavel scythe is a tool that both passes judgment and reaps the old world away. His sapphire eyes burn with a prophetic fire. He sees not what is, but what is becoming. And his rejection of the feather, that's a clear nod to Egyptian mythology. It shows he's operating way beyond any pre-existing moral code.
Wow, that is such a powerful description. He isn't just some ruler, he's the embodiment of a final conclusion. He faced the void and became its master, and his very existence is the definitive period at the end of the old world sentence.
So, what is this judge's final ruling? We've now arrived at the climax of our whole journey, the Twilight verdict that he delivers, which becomes the fundamental law of this entire new reality. And here it is, the new law of perpetual becoming. The core idea is that finality is failure. The moment you achieve a goal, define yourself, or believe you've finally arrived, you've trapped yourself. True sovereignty lies in constant, relentless self-destruction and self-creation. This slide makes the law a little more concrete. You see, even the noble identity of Overman can become a prison. The mandate is to constantly shatter that identity, to find the flaws in your own perfection, and then use them as the next catalyst for growth.
You have to always move beyond what you've already done.
And this brings us right back to that key concept. Active nihilism here is the engine that drives the judge's law. It's the philosophical hammer you use to smash any state of being that becomes too comfortable, too static, too final.
So for our final section, let's look at what happens when this law is actually put into practice. What does a world governed by perpetual becoming really look like?
Well, the consequences are reality bending. The fundamental nature of things just dissolves. A weapon can become a piece of art. The cold mechanics of the city can literally become a living pulse. Nothing is fixed. The only truth is the will that's shaping the present moment.
And this changes everything. The abyss, which was once seen as the ultimate terror, is completely reframed. For those who are strong enough to live by the judge's law, the void isn't an ending. It's the ultimate canvas, a space of infinite possibility, completely free from all rules.
What this means is that a whole new morality emerges. Your past mistakes, your traumas, your sins, you're not supposed to forget or forgive them. You're supposed to reforge them or transvalue them into weapons, into sources of strength and focused will for your next act of creation.
And this is the question we're all left with, right? After all this struggle, this constant shattering and rebuilding, what's the point? Where is all of this going? And the final, pretty unsettling answer is, there is no destination. The verdict itself reveals that the path is the entire point. The struggle, the climb, the very act of becoming, that is the goal. Every peak you manage to reach is just the starting point for a higher, more terrifying, and ultimately more glorious ascent.